You know how I know it's time?
How do you know it's time?
Because the snake just turned off.
Oh. Click is 8 o'clock.
Yeah, because the snakes turn off at 8 o'clock. No more snakes after 8 o'clock. Actually,
That's when snakes come out.
More snakes after 8 o'clock. What's going on, everybody? Welcome to Dylan Talks Tone. Welcome to the Just Gonna Snow. Tuesday.
Wow.
It is the live stream Q&A deal. For those of you that are new, we're going to answer a bunch of questions from the Patreons and YouTube members, as well as any questions that you have in. And I'm going to give you your food for thought from the all my stuff's mixed up in my head. What the heck? From the thumbnail, if you could develop or invent a guitar-related product, what would it be? I'm going to steal your idea and do it and get rich. I'm just kidding. The reason I've been thinking about this is because people always ask me, like, where are you going to take your pickup business? Or are you just going to keep making the same stuff? And of course, I've been playing around with the laser stuff all week, and I've been doing a bunch of custom stuff, and it's just kind of got my imagination going. And I want to know, what does your imagination say? Like a legit thing. What would you like to see in, sky's the limit. Doesn't matter. Technology wise, gadget wise, whatever. What would you like to see? So we'll talk about that in a few minutes. I want to let everybody know that there are no ads on this here live stream. We will add the ads later for people who watch in replay. So there is that. We will also upload this to all of the podcast platforms. We've been starting to do that now, so you can listen to it in your car on the way to work or whatever. Because there's no ads, it'd be awesome if you supported us with, super chats or whatever. Or you could buy pickups, or you could go down in the description of the video and use any of the links that support this channel. So you could buy a fountain pen or toilet paper from Amazon, or a camera from Adorama, or a cable from the cable guy.
Austin,
whatever. And that will support the channel as well. And if you don't want to do any of that stuff, just like and subscribe and share it with all your friends.
Did you say like and subscribe?
Oh, like and subscribe. Another thing I want to talk about before we get going on this whole deal is we're doing something. I want to try something. I've been making some really neat stuff, and I've been teasing it out over Instagram and on Patreon and etc. We're going to try this and see how it goes. Limited weekly drops Saturday morning at 9 o'clock Eastern time. So there will be a few things that you will see that there will only be those things. It's not like we're not adding these to the line. We're not anything. This is just some very specific things. Some merch, as well as some pickups and stuff. Some stuff you've never seen before, unless you follow me on Instagram and I've been sharing it over there, or if you follow me on Patreon, I've been sharing it over there. So check that stuff out. We'll go through all the questions and everything. And if we have a few minutes while I've got a few of them sitting over here. So while we're kind of talking, I'll show you a couple of them as we go through.
And when does the topic present itself?
Let's do Patreon questions.
Okay.
And then we will chat about that stuff.
Okay. Greg covered up our faces.
He did.
Hey, Dylan. I'm finally in a position to grab a pair of your pickups for my Meteora. You already transformed my telly a couple years ago. With the usual caveat that you are, of course, shooting from the hip with limited info, I figured I'd ask in case anyone on the chat has any input too. This guitar currently has a pair of Alnico 2 humbuckers that measure about 8,000 ohms?
Yep. 8K. Okay.
8K is 8,000, right?
Mm-hmm.
But I should say 8K.
Sure.
Okay. That I find a little underpowered for my purposes. Definitely grabbing a center punch for my neck for the versatility. But this guitar mostly lives in the bridge position, playing distorted 90s alternative rock, Pumpkins, Rage Against the Machine, Green Day, Offspring, etc., using pedals for the gain textures. So I was wondering if you might recommend one of your higher power humbuckers or the Center Punch 8. No wrong answers, and congrats on hitting 100,000 subs. You and Leslie deserve all the success in the world.
In the world. Thanks, man.
Thanks, Greg.
No, that was excellent explanation of what you're looking for. My suggestion would be our Super 8. The wind isn't very hot, but the magnet is, and you'll still get a bunch of clarity. I would not put a center punch in the bridge. That's going to take you more mid-rangey, and it's going to be more AC/DC-ish and less Pumpkins. So I would do a Super 8 in the bridge and a center punch in the neck and put a coil split on the neck pickup, and that would be killer. That's what I would do.
Cool. James covers our faces too. I wanted to speak to the guitar is a tool thing in the Tuesday video.
Yeah.
I look at guitars as a tool, yes. Every guitar I own has been used on stage. So yes, it's a tool. And each was chosen for specific reasons. I have a flying V to make a statement. I have a telly to give me dat twang, etc. I picked each because I love the look and how they presented, because as a live musician, part of the shtick is performance art, and that is, for me, the guitar. There's a whole rabbit hole here, but at the end of the day, yes, I want my guitar to sound good, feel good, look good, play well, and to represent when on the stage. But at the end of the day, it's a tool used to create sound that's right for the band, the venue, and most importantly, the song. Not disagreeing with you, just being specific about what I mean when I say it's a tool in a toolbox.
No, I 100% agree with you. That is, I 100% agree. You can be excited about tools though, right? I was speaking more to the people who are like, it doesn't have to be expensive. It doesn't have to be cool. It doesn't have to be, it's only a tool. I'm excited about my tools. That's why I have fancy ones. You know, I like my tools. I do. Can I get by with less in the toolbox? Maybe. But once you use a specialized tool, once you understand what it does for the experience and how it elevates what you're doing, then it's hard to go back, you know? So yeah, no, I 100% agree. But you also you put value in more than just the utility. What you are value about your instruments does raise beyond the utility. You can definitely tell that by what you wrote there. And that I think that's really neat. And you appreciate that in others. I know you well enough to know that you appreciate that in others, and you don't look down on other people for thinking differently than you about that. And I think that's very cool. He's on our Patreon Hangouts, so I've gotten to chat with him a bunch about various stuff. Oh, and I was on his podcast once too.
Evstavios. Good evening, Leslie, potentially Brianna, and Dylan. I am almost positive that the setup process of a bass guitar is very similar, if not the same, to a regular guitar. Is this the case, or are there any gotchas one would need to look out for? Also, have you tried playing any of your basses through the Tone X1? If so, would you say it could replace both a guitar and a bass amp with a flip of a button knob, at least as a backup?
Backwards answering your question, yes, I think it could. No, I have not, but I have used other things very similar to it. I've used my big Tone X with a bass. And yes, I think you could, if you set it up right and had a couple of profiles, at least for a backup situation, or a coffee shop gig where you didn't want to bring a bunch of gear. You know, obviously we're not playing in front of a stadium and need the highest quality of everything, but you're just trying to do it utility wise. I think, yeah, you definitely could. Setup wise, it's the same theory, but everything moves more. More neck relief. The strings move more, obviously, because they're just heavier and bigger. The necks move more because of their structure. Like a jazz bass neck kind of moves around a lot. So yeah, it's the same theory and same concept, just you kind of just have to think in maybe I don't want to say bigger increments, but you might have to, I always tell people, like, don't adjust too much. Don't adjust too much. With a bass, you kind of adjust a little more sometimes. And bigger swings move more. So just be aware of that.
We have a super chat from Jim Woodard. Thank you for the super chat, Jim. He says, well said, and way to fill in the blanks. Keeping it ad free, my friend.
Thanks, Jim.
And then we're going to throw this one up here too, because it is a celebration. Van Shank Guitars is celebrating 44 months of membership.
Jeez.
Hi, Dylan and Leslie. Dylan, why'd your camera jump? Did you see that? Dylan, are there any good resources to get me started with cutting things and shapes on the laser?
So honestly, I use Etsy for a lot of stuff. If we're talking about like not guitar related stuff, because you can buy pretty good files for a couple bucks. If you need like pickup flat work files and stuff, just I'll give them to you. I can send you the Lightburn files for the stuff that I have, and you're welcome to use them, and you're welcome to move things around or, adapt them to whatever you're doing. I don't mind doing that. I just I drew mine from scratch, but I kind of stole the overall designs. You try to find a cover, a place to start. But then, yeah, I basically have been drawing them all from scratch. And it's taken some time, but I'm pretty happy with it now.
All right.
And thank you for the super chat, Jim. And also thank you for the 44 months. That's a long time, Ivan.
Is the sounds down? Nobody heard the super chat sound.
Here we go.
Yeah, we did play it. Evstathios wanted to hear it. Did you hear it that time?
Yeah, they should hear it.
67 Goat. No question this time, but can't wait to see those bronze P90s for the Noventa. Haven't seen them yet, but I know they will look good because you generally have good taste.
There it is. The bronze came in today. I thought I had bronze, and all I had was brass and copper, so I had to wait to get some bronze. But there they are. And these, since we're talking about it, we're going to put a few sets of these on our Saturday drop. So our normal P90 with bronze in the cover. In fact, the person, Jeff, who won the set of P90s at our 100,000 giveaway, he wants bronze too. So that's what inspired adding that to the drop.
Matt. Good evening, team DTT. Just more of a comment. I just received my JHS Nauticlon pedal build kit and put it together today. So much fun. Well, 15 minutes of it, but I guess you can say that was a masterclass in product development and advertising. Sounds good and definitely drives the amp hard. Something to keep things a little more interesting in the analog world with the digital takeover.
Remember we watched the video when it first came out, the Nauticlon thing, and that me and you were both saying through the whole thing, this is absolute genius. Because remember he had his kids put them together, and Josh has an eye for marketing those products.
Yeah, and then we actually had some friends in town that got together and did it too.
Yeah.
That was fun.
Yeah, they got together and had a Nauticlon assembly party.
I think they did it live too.
Oh, they did?
I feel like they did. Maybe they just posted a lot of photos.
Maybe. I don't remember, but yeah, you're right. I do remember them doing that. I don't remember the live part.
Maybe it wasn't. I'm not saying I watched the live. I just thought maybe they did, but maybe they didn't. Rob. Hello, Leslie, Brianna, and Dylan. I noticed the 60 cycle hum from my Strat was loudest with the volume pot near the middle. Then from around 3/4 to full volume, the hum reduces. Is this a volume pot going bad, or is there another explanation? Thank you.
Is it only on one pickup or is it on all of them? If it's on all of them, it's the volume pot. If it's only on a couple of, it probably is the volume pot either way. But if you have one pickup that doesn't do it, or a combination of them that doesn't do it because it's a strat. So like, let's say it's the bridge pickup only that does it and the neck in the middle don't, then maybe it's a pickup thing or a switch thing. You might resolder your joints if it's one pickup at a, one pickup. Maybe there's a bad solder joint that's giving you a bunch of resistance or some kind of wacky noise. The other thing you could do is touch all the solder joints on your output chain. So what I mean by that is there's a wire that goes from one side of the strat switch to the other. It's that bridge over one. There's also one wire that goes from the switch to the knob, to the volume knob. Check the solder joints there, because that's going to be your kind of straight through signal. And that'll affect all the pickups. And then if it still does it, then it might be your volume pot going bad.
Super chat from Dog Dr. Tim. Thank you for the super chat, Tim. He said, can you do etched images on pickguards with the laser? I have several ideas for themed builds, especially a Scottish themed telly as I am of Celtic heritage.
So I can't do it on actual pickguards because they are PVC and ABS and it will kill you chemical wise. However, I could do it on acrylic. So we could cut a custom
metal, right?
We could probably do it on metal with the spray stuff. Yeah. I can't cut anodized aluminum.
You don't need to cut it though, right? Just etch it like you do your pickups.
So I'm going to show them. Oh, well, I guess I can't. I left them in there.
Anyway.
Acrylic would probably be the way to go. We could probably do it in black acrylic or in white acrylic or translucent acrylic or green, or, I mean, I can get a bunch of different colors. And I can also get a bunch of stuff with patterns in it, sparkles, whatever. So if we did it in 1/8 inch acrylic, we could probably do it. Yep. That'd be cool. I haven't really played around with pickguards that much.
Yeah. So Rob said it's on all 3 pickups.
So check that signal chain as it comes from the switch to the volume pot. And if you have all your solder joints are good, then it's probably your volume.
Pete. Hey guys, I just got my Super 8 pickup set and put them in my SG. Wow, what a difference. Those are awesome and exactly what I was looking for. Very dynamic and the clarity is fantastic. I'm actually thinking about replacing the 490R and 498T pickups in my Les Paul. They sound that good. Thanks.
I would. Or put Thruxtons in the place of those because they're A2s. But yeah, either one. Yep. I love it. Thanks, Pete. I appreciate that.
Dog Dr. Tim said, or wood. I wanted to try heather. Thanks for the info.
We could do
guards.
We could do wood. We could do leather too.
It's Victoria G said you had me at sparkles.
Oh my gosh. Wait till you see what some of the acrylic materials that we have. Oh my goodness. Yeah, it's crazy.
All right. That was all
Patreon?
the things that came from before off topic.
Cool.
Line. So you want to...
Yeah, I want to hear what we're inventing.
Yeah, we didn't get much. Rusty said a music brain chip, obviously.
Well, duh.
67 Goat said, I would invent a quick release bond glue so that you could swap out wood on an acoustic guitar easily. Something that held as well as super glue, but could be switched on and off with an electrical signal.
Wait, so you could like go from like a rosewood back to a mahogany back? That would be wild. All right.
Eric Luttinger said, I need something that can hold spare picks on my Telecaster for when I drop a pick while playing. Laser cut something?
Oh, for sure. Absolutely. I was actually thinking about making a holster kind of thing that slides on anybody's guitar strap right here. Like, or right here. You know, like down here by the butt of the guitar. Like if you had something that just slid onto the guitar strap and then it held some picks right there where you could grab them. I've been thinking about that. Anyway.
Claire Rose says, wish item, an onboard LFO on a guitar that I could route to various parts of the electronics, volume, active tone, etc., easily with rate control and Eurorack compatible CV input. Sorry. I don't know what the sorry is for.
So that's interesting. I've never heard of anybody wanting to put that in a guitar before. Usually people put fuzzes and distortions and stuff, but to have a, okay. Effects in guitars are an interesting one because in theory, a lot of people want them and then nobody buys them. When people make them, nobody buys them. They never really do that well.
It's Victoria G said, invent a made in Japan high-end version of the Paul Gilbert signature Ibanez
Iceman?
Micro?
Oh.
Micro? I don't know what that says. Is that stamp or something? MIKRO. But there's a capital
micro.
letter.
Okay.
Ebony fretboard, pink like his 87 Ibanez. If it has to be jewel blue pink, add Pablo Gilberto side decal like Paul as case candy.
So you just want a guitar model. Interesting. I mean, not just a guitar model. I didn't mean to say it like that, but.
Shane Walton said, pick holster for a strap is a rad idea. I'd buy one. Dog Dr. Tim said, Pez dispenser, pick dispenser.
I mean, they have those, but they're stupid looking. They have those Pez dispenser ones. It's like a little plastic thing, and it's got a spring thing in the bottom, and you go like this. You push them out. I see like, I don't want to say I see nerds with it, but I do. I've seen like really nerdy people with it stuck on their acoustic guitar right here, and they like thumb them out. I think, ugh.
All right, now you want to hear some questions and otherwise?
Let's go through some questions.
It's early. Wow. Charles Davis says, hello, Leslie and Dylan. Dylan, what are your thoughts on the new Fender Player series? I feel like we get that question every week.
We do. I know. I haven't bought one yet.
Well, you should at least go play one.
Because I just feel like it's just another guitar, but I think they're cool. I mean, I guess, okay, diving into this, I don't know why people ask me what I think of the Fender Player series. That guitar is meant for a person who does not have or want to spend the money on an American guitar, but doesn't want a Squier. If you are that person, buy that guitar. If it has the feature set that you want when it comes to bridges, you know, like how many saddles is this, you know, and like, is it a 2-post bridge? Like, you know, all that stuff. It's going to be a good guitar. If it's not, return it and get a different one. It's going to be fine. And is that a goose?
Yeah, that was really odd.
That was a goose. So the guitar is going to be fine. And I think when people ask, is this going to be a good guitar? What they should be asking is, they're all good. Okay. So am I the person, is this guitar the right guitar for me? So if you're a person who doesn't want to spend the money on a Fender and you want to move up from a Squire because it will be different, then buy that guitar. If you are a person who is, well, I wouldn't even say anything else. I mean, if you're a person who doesn't want to spend the money on an American one, I'd buy a American Vintage 2 all day, but it's decidedly more money. It is a better guitar. It is amazing, but it's decidedly more money. So if you need to be in that price point, then buy that guitar. It's going to be good. Just don't keep it if it's not. And don't post about it until you get a good one.
Chris Hendricks, nothing to ask, but wanted to shout out the new merch. Love the hats. Glad you're here, Chris.
Go to the next question and I'll grab it.
Hope you're feeling better. Claire Rose said, congrats on the 100,000 subs.
Thank you. So since Chris brought it up, we've got 2 new designs for this weekend on the drop this weekend. These are Richardson 112s, so they're really good hats. And we've got the Sasquatch. It's like I forget what these are called, like sea something camo. So it's like supposed to be like a oceany colors with like a mint green Sasquatch Dylan Tux Tone logo on it. So these will be available on the website. And then we did like a super OG pickup, Dylan Pickups logo in red and these are the legit officially licensed multicam hats. And these are really, really, really nice hats. So these 2 will be available on the drop this weekend, along with some of the other pickups and stuff that we are. And I only have 4 of each of these or something, so we don't have that many. So that's that.
T-Bone says, hey, Dylan and Leslie. Dylan, what exactly is the sound of scooped single coil pickups? Also, would the SE Silver Sky be somewhat considered scooped? Hopefully, I didn't double post this. You didn't.
You didn't, and I would say you're dead on with you. I was about to say, I didn't even hear him say anything about the Silver Sky, but when I hear scooped mid,
I mean, I didn't hear him say anything.
Strat pickups, I hear John Mayer, clean tone John Mayer. So you're right in there. Yep.
Shane Walton said, is it a bad idea to play with a damaged pick? A small chunk of mine ripped off, and I wonder if it wears out the strings unnaturally fast.
I mean, it depends what it's made of, but it's not as hard as the string, so I wouldn't worry about it unless it snags and causes you trouble.
Chris Anderson said, I missed the 100,000 live, but congratulations.
Thank you.
Dr. Tim said, sparkle is my pronoun. I identify as bougie.
Same.
Jeffrey Egan said, how about a guitar that gives you an electric shock when you play the wrong note? For training, you know?
Oh my goodness.
That would be terrible. 67 Goat said, remember those old plastic disc shooter guns you could buy at the grocery store? How about one that shoots pics? You could use it on stage to send out personalized pics to the audience. Sounds dangerous.
You could probably stick pics in Nerf discs.
I was going to say, they're talking about old things, but if you've not played with a Nerf gun disc shooter, you're missing out.
Oh my gosh. We used to have all the things. I had the big 50 cal one that you like sat on the floor with a bipod.
Yeah, the disc shooters are way more fun than regular Nerf guns.
Yeah.
Because they go further and they bounce.
And they bounce off stuff. Yeah, because they're round. They're
and rubber on the edges. Yeah. So they don't break anything. And they just
We had one that was
everywhere.
It was a revolver, but the cylinder was like this big, and so it was like, like a 6-shot revolver, but each shot had a stack of like 8. So it really had like 48 shots in it. And it was and it would spin
It was
around.
fun
It was so
once
fun.
it was loaded, but it was a pain in the butt to like go collect them all and reload.
Yeah. And then you play Nerf with the kids and you're like picking up them things for 2 weeks after that because
they get anywhere.
Yeah, all over the place, under all the furniture, behind all the things, in the bookcase, on top of the bookcase.
Yeah. You have to buy. They sell replacement ones for a reason because you won't find them all.
Nope.
Not when you want to, anyway.
Exactly. But you could put picks in the bottom of those and then shoot them into the crowd. I think that would work.
That would be fun. Then you wouldn't hurt anybody either. I would imagine shooting a pick at somebody would potentially cause harm.
Yeah, probably.
Shoot your eye out.
It's all fun and games.
Daniel Rentel says, "Hi, Dylan and Leslie. What do you think of the guitarist Pliny?
Yep. What do I think of him?
That was the question.
He's cool. Yeah. Very proggy, very math rocky kind of stuff. I like that stuff. I don't listen to a lot of it. I can't consume it as a source of joy as much as go, dang, that dude's really good. Like that's what I think when I hear it. But it's not like oh, this is going to get me into my Zen moment and like de-stress me and make me feel awesome. That's not that kind of music for me. But I listen to it and go, holy smokes. How does he do that stuff?
Super chat from John Gabriel. Thank you for the super chat, John. He said, my idea is a board in the guitar that controls volume, tone, pickup switches, etc., connects with Bluetooth to a pedal, and programs with a phone app.
So, the pickup switching, Seymour Duncan has that. I have one of those, actually. I should put that in a guitar. I don't have that. It's sitting in the shelf in there. I don't have that in anything. But volume and tone would be interesting. I guess unless you had, for preset stuff, I could see that being cool. Maybe if you had a pedal on your board that you could then use it like with a modeler, and then for certain parts of the songs. This is really interesting. Okay. Yes, this is very okay. So you know that the output of your guitar affects everything after it, right? So when you turn your volume down on your guitar, if you have good pickups, you turn your volume down on your guitar and it completely changes everything. It changes how your amp works. It changes how your pedals work. It changes everything. So what if, instead of having to use the knobs on the guitar, you did have presets for various songs, like you're playing in Kemper and it's on a click, and the guitar like turned the volume down when you wanted to be soft, and then when you wanted to go overdrive again, you turned the volume back up, like it did all that stuff on a click. I could see that for certain people. I could see that being a thing. You could go really nuts with that. Yeah. Because there are folks that have gigs like that where everything is pre-programmed and, yeah. That's pretty wild.
Dog Dr. Tim said the hat you're wearing looks really cool.
This is actually, this is a Montana Knife Company hat. I get in the habit of buying merch from companies that I really like and know that they have high quality merch, because it keeps I really like this hat. So if I do a leather patch hat and it's not as good as this, then I don't want it. Like, it helps me to make sure that my standards are up to what I personally would buy. That's why I do it.
Evstathio says, I think a better question than what you think about the Fender Player II guitars would be, if this is your price point, should it be a Fender Player II or a PRS Silver Sky SE?
That would be my question too. However, I think the Fender Player II is going to give you more flexibility. The Silver Sky SE does a thing, and it does it very, very, very well. But it does the John Mayer thing. It does the clean Stevie Ray thing. In my opinion, to get the guitar to do other stuff, you have to put different pickups in it. But so I think you would have more flexibility. So I guess this is my opinion. I think you would have more flexibility out of the Fender stuff. Also, don't they have a couple of different pickup configurations? So that's what I would do. I think if you can't buy a core Silver Sky, don't buy one. Buy a Strat, unless you can buy a core Silver Sky in addition to the Strats you already have. I think a Silver Sky is, and I guess I've never said this out loud before, I love my Silver Sky. I love it. Absolutely love it. However, I am a very seasoned Stratocaster player. And it is, because I've been playing them since I was 13. So that is like an addition to my collection where I already have good Strats. So that's what the Silver Sky is to me. It doesn't replace a good Strat. It's a different thing just enough. So if you're a Strat, if you want a Strat, get a Strat. If you want to add another dimension to your Strats, get a Silver Sky, but only if you can afford the good one, because the SE is definitely an SE. Like, the good one is way better than the SE. I don't care what anybody says either. It's way better.
Super chat from John Roddy. Thank you for the super chat, John.
John Roddy doesn't keep track anymore guitars.
Could someone invent something that tells me what MIDI is and whether I should learn anything about it? Own 16, can't play any, by the way.
Nice. Yeah, so MIDI is basically, in guitar world, MIDI is, I guess the long and the short of it is the timer. And it basically syncs music of different parts so that you can have everything synced up. The most obvious way people use MIDI in guitar is if you are playing with a backing track and you need all of your delays to be in time with the backing track, then the backing track would have a tempo. The MIDI would be living underneath that, and then it would also send a signal to your delay pedal, like your Strymon or something, and it would make sure that they're synced up so that you don't sound off when you're using your delay pedal. It's way deeper than that. There's way more to it, but that is an example of how you use MIDI in guitar, and it's kind of the simplest way of showing you or telling you. Welcome Charles Davis to Patreon too. He just added himself. I just got the email.
I don't know if Charles is here, but thanks.
Charles Davis, new guy.
Cool.
My phone just buzzed, and I was like, why is my phone buzzing? I'm like, oh, it's probably somebody watching and joining Patreon. So thank you.
Shane Walton says, how come no one has necktie merch for us white collar pencil pushers? I'd get a Sasquatch DTT necktie. It's a great idea.
Do you wear bow ties? I wear bow ties, and I've been thinking about making them.
You wear neckties too.
I do. What would you make would I make a tie out of what?
There's a third party that would do it. You just make a pattern.
Oh, we could do that.
Yeah.
Oh, for sure we could do that.
We should try it.
No, absolutely. We'll
make a Sasquatch pattern tie.
Oh, this is the other thing I'm making. I haven't figured out how much they're going to cost or if anybody would buy them or not, but this is like a dump tray for your guitar picks. I made this yesterday.
How many guitar picks do people have?
A lot. Or you could put your change and your keys and your guitar pick, or you could the magazine for your pistol or whatever. pocket knife, everything. So I etched a Telecaster into this one, and I bought all of the guitar files. So I've got Telecaster, Strat, Les Paul, all that stuff. And I've been thinking about, they're really neat. I really like them. And I actually made one with a 1911 in the bottom of it. And I was thinking about doing one with a buck knife in the bottom of it. Other themes too. But I just don't know if anybody would buy them. I think they would have to be like something like probably like $30 or $35, somewhere right in there. Yeah, $35. I think that's what they'd have to cost. But they're leather and they're, they're cool. Anyway, that was another thing I've been messing with. Oh yeah, I'm going to write this down. Neckties.
Ellen Pettibone said, or pipe tobacco in that leather tray. I could
there
smell that comment.
Oh my gosh. I hate smoke. Like, I grew up with my grandparents smoking, like cigarette smoke.
Yeah, that's different.
I know. And I don't remember the first time I smelled a pipe, and I'm like, how does that smell like that? And cigarettes smell like that. Like, I remember being a kid.
Like,
and like,
why do people smoke cigarettes?
Yeah, like, why would you do that when that smells like that? Because it's so, wow. Yeah. Sasquatch necktie. I mean, I'd wear my own ties then. I should just make my own ties.
Claire Rose says, or D&D dice tray.
Yep. Yeah, you could use it for all kinds of stuff. I think they're kind of cool. I bought the little press for the rivets and everything. I'm all jigged up to do it.
Tim True Tone says, the old Dylan pickup outline logo reminds me of Talladega. Dale, yeah.
Oh my goodness, that's funny.
Hogman Hawk says, I thought Leslie was doing the show by herself, then realized you were just hiding with your camouflage shirt.
You can't see me.
And then he's got a dad joke. You know what's great about camouflage jokes?
What?
You never see them coming.
Oh my goodness.
We love dad jokes.
We do too. We text them to the kid. We have a group chat with the kids. And I barrage them with dad jokes.
They're pretty good about sending them back too, though.
Yeah, yeah.
Rusty says, how about a bolt-on adjustable neck that changes scale length?
Wait, before I forget this. If a king sleeps in a king-size bed and a queen sleeps in a queen-size bed, where does a prince sleep? Air mattress.
What? What does that mean?
On an air mattress. HEIR.
Oh. I was not getting it.
Anyway. Okay. Anyway.
Random.
Yeah.
That's your dad joke for today?
That's my dad. Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
Rusty wants to know, or his idea is, how about a bolt-on adjustable neck that changes scale length?
That is an interesting one. The problem with that is...
how are you crushing people's dreams?
So it could be done, but the whole thing would have to telescope the perfect amount, because when you change scale length, the frets are closer and further apart. So you would actually have to have the whole thing would have to telescope, if that makes sense. Rain stopping soon. That's a lie. It's been raining for weeks.
Joe Healy says, you're concerned about throwing guitar picks. Some of us grew up throwing lawn darts at each other.
Amen.
I'm old enough for lawn darts.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Lawn darts ruled. I remember playing with those. And then they made them into the dumb ones with the big, round thing on the end, which wasn't really any better because it became from a dart to, a bludgeon. Because it looked like a big ball peen hammer. It was this big.
I don't remember those.
It was about that big, and then the dart came out of the back of it. And instead of it being a dart that stuck in the ground, it was thump. It would thump on the ground. But it's
so it could land.
Yeah. So now you're bludgeoning people instead of darting them. So it wasn't really that much better.
Random Guitar says, band practice is now on Mondays, so I'll be able to join more often on Thursdays. But what music gear would I make? Look up the sound fraud video made a few years back by Chicago Music Exchange.
Okay, I will.
He spells it SAUND. Fraud.
Okay.
Scott the Maker says, random question. Does the magnetic polarity need to match the electrically produced polarity? Such as the magnets are south up and your current runs CCW and thus produces a north up polarity from the coil.
So it doesn't matter. However, you will end up with a quieter result if you start your negative on you put your ground wire on the start wire. But it also kind of doesn't matter anyway, because you're going to do like reverse wound, reverse polarity. So it's opposite. When it matters is when you have two pickups together. So if you have your neck, so let's take a Telecaster, makes it easy. So if your neck and your bridge, you could have north up on what I do is I have north up on the neck pickup and I have south up magnetic polarity on the bridge. On the neck pickup, the start wire is the white wire. On the bridge pickup, the start wire is the black wire. So you not only have to change your magnetic polarity, but you also have to change your electrical connection to be backwards. If you do not, if they are opposite or they are not both changed, then the guitar will be out of phase in the middle position.
Claire Rose says, oh, yes, I wish there was a better MIDI pickup system out there. Roland requires a box and the Fishman is decent, but certain natural guitar sounds while playing trigger incorrect notes sometimes.
So my favorite one, we were just listening to, and I was thinking about this today. I was listening to 12-Foot Ninja on the way home today. And 12-Foot Ninja, the guy from 12-Foot Ninja uses the Line 6. You guys remember what the name of it is. But that one's really neat and it tracks really well. And you can I know what he does. He has because I've seen a video on him talking about, I can't remember what the name of it is. But he can tune the guitar to different tunings, even though the strings are in the same tune, if that makes sense. So if you listen to 12-Foot Ninja, you'll hear this really low B or low A note on the bottom, but the string is actually still standard tuned, but he sends that tuning through the guitar so that he can still play with the right tension, but the tuning's different, only on a couple of strings though. So there's some really neat stuff.
Ariacs?
Yes. Thank you. I knew I was gonna be I already know this, but I could not think of it. Yeah, I was listening to them today. I was thinking about that low note, and I'm like, yeah, that is so cool the way that thing works. And obviously, they're touring the world with it, so it must work okay.
Random Guitar says, I built a pedal board that uses a MIDI controller to control bias FX2 running on an iPad. Yes, I've played events using just an iPad for a processor and a MIDI foot controller to change patches. Yeah,
that's the 21st century, dude. That's what we're doing, and I think it's great. Absolutely.
Rusty had another idea. He said, magnetic fretboard with neck with steel inserts.
I've seen that. Who does that?
Somebody commented. I don't know if he said who.
Somebody does that. Is it an aluminum guitar?
Oh, you're talking about recently. Sunbase said in the 80s, a company called Novatone made necks with interchangeable fretboards. Go from fretted, fretless, weird scales in just a few seconds. Never caught on.
Yes, that's and it. I don't know that one, but I remember being at the NAMM show and some guy showing me this thing, and I'm like, you're never going to sell these. And I never saw him again, so I know he didn't. But it could be a thing, I suppose, but I just don't know anybody that would care really. Because when you change the scale length, the string tension doesn't change if you just change the point of changing scale length is to change the tone of the guitar, because the tone does change, and the feel of the guitar. But if you just swap out the fretboard and move a couple things, that doesn't really work, I don't think. I don't know. I have to think that the rest of the way through, but.
Alan Pettibone says, I'm down for a leather if you do build those leather trays. Please throw an update on here so I can snag one.
Okay. Check. So here's what you need to do. DylanTalksTone.com. Check it on Saturday morning, because that's where I'll put it. It'll be in the merch section.
I don't know how to say this, but every time I see it, I just want to say Vild Jugga. I just know it's Jugga at the end, and I want to say that. Anyway,
funny.
They say, to go with the title, I've 3D printed volume expression pedals. I haven't stress tested them quite yet. I guess
cool.
that's their little invention.
Yeah, 3D printing is a thing that I have ideas for it, but I don't own one, and I'm not going to buy one. I have a buddy of mine who is ramping up a 3D printing business. He's actually built a building, and he's going to have so if you need anything done, he's going to have 40 machines or something. And he's going to be doing a whole bunch he already has contracts and stuff, but I want him to print a fountain pen for me and some other stuff. I'd like him to print some custom bobbins for me and stuff. Yeah, I've been thinking about that. 3D printing's neat.
Gary Wayne says, what do you think of the Tone Vice Terminator?
I don't know what that is. Let me Google that. Sounds like a noise reduction thing.
Tim Truetone said the new EHX Pog looks wild. Speaking of pitch variation pedals.
Mm-hmm. Oh, okay. The Tone Vice Terminator, it's like a trem stop. I'm not a fan. I don't like those. I don't ever put one on my guitar. If you don't want a trem, don't get a trem. You know what I mean? That's kind of my thing. If I was going to get one, I would get the one from FU Tone, because the stuff that he makes is real good. I would buy all of my double action tremolo stuff from FU Tone.
Very good for using that right word.
That's right. I said Floyd Rose, and he's like, and
he's so intense.
I know he is really intense. Yeah, he's like, it's not. He's like, you need to get Floyd Rose out of your mind. It is double action tremolo, and I'm like, yes, sir.
I don't even think those words came out of his mouth.
Oh no,
he was just like, this is what
you say. Double action tremolo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Eric Lettinger said, how about click in strings for quick string changes? Click it and pick it.
Oh my gosh.
He's already got a slogan and everything.
Isn't that a locking tuner? I don't know.
Click it and pick it. JJE says a digital pickup that has adjustable cold to hot options and every type of pickup available. So a quad Cortex type deal, but in pickup technology.
So I did a podcast once. Well, I did an interview, and what happened was when we were living in the motorhome, and our cell phone we were doing it with cell phone stuff, and I did it over Zoom. It was during COVID. And our reception was so bad that I could not use it. And I should get in touch with those guys again.
Was it like a Kickstarter?
It was like a kick. I don't know. It was a Kickstarter, and it was photo cells that instead of sensing magnetism, it had a matrix of light emitting. They weren't light emitting diodes, but they were basically these diodes, It was this matrix that crossed over each other. And when the string moved, the light sensed the motion and created the electrical current that went along with it. So it was much more responsive and much more tunable than a magnetic pickup, because with a magnetic pickup, you can't do anything. It's one coil, right? So you can't like do things per string and stuff. So you could like, with this thing, you could adjust the tone, like the tone knob on each string individually. You could adjust the volume knob on each string individually. So now going back to what's his name's comment from earlier, you could do that. You could have a pickup that you could do all that stuff further downstream if you wanted to. That would work. It was really neat, and it sounded good. It worked. It was really neat.
Ivan says optical pickup. He had read up on it at that time.
Yeah. It was an optical pickup. It was really cool. Mm-hmm. And these guys one of them was a guitar player, but the other one, I think I couldn't even talk about this stuff. He told me, and now I can't remember, so it's okay. But he worked on all this top secret stuff on the optical pickup side and laser technology. So this was not some fly-by-night idea. This was actually like an established technology that they were bringing to the guitar. Mm-hmm. It was really cool. But I can't remember anything about it. I need to look them up and see if that ever... I'm actually going to write that down, because it's one of the coolest things I've ever talked to anybody
about. It was
about.
a fantastic interview too, and then it just didn't work.
I know. Yeah. It was so cool. Those guys were so neat. Optical. I'm writing it down. I'm going to look those guys up tomorrow.
All caught up. Y'all got like 3 minutes. By the time you see it, you might have like a minute.
Yeah. And then we're going to go into off-topic hour.
Not see it. Free Reign Voltaic says, does ambient light affect it?
No, I don't think so. I think they had it tuned really, really well. It was an interesting, there was a cover over it, and it was like a filter almost. It worked. Like, I don't know if you like shined a flashlight in it, but see that flashlight wouldn't have a frequency to it. The motion of the string has a frequency, right? So I don't know. Obviously this is stuff I have zero idea about, but it was the first time I'd ever, obviously I pay attention to this stuff, pickup technology wise. It was the first time I'd ever talked to anybody who I felt was like, no, this is actually real. This is not some gimmicky weirdo thing that somebody's doing in their garage. Like, this is an actually thing that could actually work. That was an actual move forward in technology of pickup stuff. Yeah, it was really cool. I don't know that people would buy it though, but it was very cool.
Clear Rose said, another desire of mine, a simple, easy to install guitar sustainer pickup with solderless installation that doesn't require too much troubleshooting.
Oh, yeah.
Jeffrey Egan said it would be like a chronograph for checking bullet velocity, but requires a shroud.
Yes, exactly. Yep, that's pretty much, what a chronograph is. Yep. But to think about that, so chronograph for bullet velocity is very, very fast, right? It's super, the response time's really fast. But now think about it going back and forth that many times. So, A440, whatever that, yeah.
Sunbase says light wave optical pickups are on Wilcox guitars.
Really? I'm going to keep
light wave
notes.
Optical Wilcox guitars.
Thank you.
And it is 9:00.
All right. So it's off topic hour. We can talk about guitar stuff if you want, but after 9:00, if you ask a guitar question, it has to be in a super chat. That's how that works. we encourage you to ask any other question off topic that you can, because it's how we get to know each other and hang out and do fun stuff. So ask any question you want and we'll probably answer it.
We have one
over here.
free question.
Yeah, because you can ask them on Patreon too.
Ready?
Yep.
Matt, off topic. What are your thoughts on the YouTube algorithms? God forbid I hover over a video for 30 seconds, then there'll be 100 similar suggestions in my feed for the next week. Stuff that I used to watch seems to disappear and then I forget. Do you think it's more to maximize their revenue, or there's really no one approach to an individual's taste?
So my experience with the YouTube algorithm is that it is very user driven. People talk about this YouTube algorithm, but basically all it is it's feeding you more stuff that you've already looked at. So if you've looked at some wacky stuff's going to show up. If you've looked at a bunch of political stuff's going to show up. And
I would imagine like YouTube is Google.
Yes.
So if you're Googling stuff, I imagine that YouTube knows that too.
Correct.
Yeah.
And the other thing is, because actually YouTube is the second largest search engine in the world besides Google.
Right.
So they work on the same, AI models and stuff. So, and the other thing is, so he mentioned losing track of stuff that he used to watch. That is why you subscribe. That's what that's for. So the page, the Discover page is for Discover. If you want to continue to see the stuff that you already like, you have to subscribe. That's what the model is. So if you watch YouTube, like if I go to my YouTube watch page right now, if I don't subscribe to this channel, or if I don't subscribe to what I'm doing, the other thing you can do, just FYI, is I'm scrolling on my phone, okay? And probably there'll be some political crap on here because it's been coming up lately. Yep, there is right here. So then all I do is I just hit these little 3 dots and it'll say, not interested, don't recommend channel. So if you don't want to see something, you could do that. But what they're really trying to encourage you to do is interact with your profile and subscribe to stuff or not subscribe to stuff. Or
so that they can feed you more things that you didn't know you needed.
Right. Because what they're really trying to do, they are the algorithm, all it's doing is looking at what you look at and saying, okay, you want to see more. Well, if you don't want to see more, tell it you don't want to see it. That's all you do. But you just have to interact with it. Because that's what YouTube's working off of, is interaction. If you comment on somebody, I always laugh when people are like, your video is so stupid, I hate you, and you're dumb. I'm like, well, now that you commented on it, you're going to see it in your feed like 20 times tomorrow.
Yep.
Right? Like the best way to diss a channel is to scroll past it. Right? Like that's, if you post a bunch of hate on somebody's YouTube, you're just going to see more of it. Like
it's going to make you more angry.
So interact with the channels you want to see and don't interact with the ones you don't want to see, and it will fix itself pretty quickly. Yeah. Yep. Facebook's the same way. Instagram's the same way. TikTok's real weird because TikTok will actually time how long it takes you to scroll past something. So if you like go whoop past it, or if you slow down real slow and look at it, it will know that.
Well, TikTok actually counts, because it goes on a loop if you don't scroll. So if you watch the same video like 5 times, it's also noting that.
Right.
So you can't just have it on and sit your phone down, because whatever video you stopped on is just going to loop.
Right.
And feed it.
Yep.
I don't have TikTok anymore.
Me either.
It was taking up too much time.
Yeah, and I could never really get I see some people using it for audience growth, but I don't know that what we do works for that.
I wasn't using it for anything productive.
Yeah, I mean, Metal Complex uses it. He's, knife guy. And he looks at he's really premier stuff. But the guitar thing's weird because, like, I really like looking at stuff I can't afford. Like, it doesn't bother me that I can't afford it. So, like, if he shows me a knife and it's $2,500, it doesn't hurt my feelings, and I don't get in the comments and be like, an Epiphone's just as good. I don't do that on a knife channel. I enjoy seeing the fancy stuff. But in Guitar Land, it's not like that. So there's no point in doing the same kind of content like that. So I've never really, and that's kind of what he does on TikTok. Just look at this cool thing. And I'm not going to play a lot because I just don't, but I don't know.
Jeffrey Egan said, I was wondering why YouTube kept suggesting videos of beautiful girls.
Oh my goodness.
F. Stathio says, website question. Over the past 3 to 5 months, I have tried to leave 2 reviews on items I have purchased, but they never seem to stay on the website. Is there a limit of characters or image size?
So if you leave a message or leave a review on the website, I have to curate it and like publish it onto the website. And I will admit to you that I do not do it often enough. And so I've been trying to do it better.
3 to 5 months.
No, that's kind of crazy. I don't know how we missed that because I was just on there the other day. So I know that's not the case.
So maybe he's having a problem.
So maybe there is a problem. Check and see if it's there. If it's not, send me a message on Patreon and we'll figure it out. Because I want to know that. I've been republishing those reviews on Facebook and stuff. Like just to share when people, besides me, say my stuff is good.
F. Stathios again. Drink of the night.
Some Blantons. I just have this bottle that I've been working on.
Some Blantons. That's so bougie. I have a vodka mule.
Now that I have a guy, it's not as hard
Vodka
to
mule. Alan Pettibone. Dylan, I'm thinking about getting a V-Strom 800 DE. Ooh. Looks badass, but I'm not a Suzuki guy at all. Your thoughts?
About a year and a half ago, I came like this close. I was making a deal on one.
He said they're not there. He just checked.
I really, really, really love it. I love V-Stroms. I've not ridden an 800. So let me tell you, I've not ridden any of the parallel twin stuff. I've ridden the V-twin stuff. And I love V-twins, so I love them. But they're going to be reliable as crap. It's never going to break. And it's going to be like super smooth and it's going to be awesome. Yeah, I think you should get one.
Jeffrey Egan. Dylan, don't you or didn't you have a Canic? I really want the Canic TTI Combat.
I have 2 Canics. If you want the TTI Combat, you should get with me because I have a Canic that I'm not shooting and I would be interested in selling it. It is not the TTI Combat. It is the SFX Pro 5-inch with the comp and all the everything. I handled the TTI Combat at a gun show about 3 weeks ago, and I think it's very cool, but I think that I don't see a reason to buy one because I have this SFX Pro for much less money. I couldn't appreciate, let me say this, I couldn't appreciate the difference enough to justify buying one. And what I would say is if you bought an aluminum magwell and I have a threaded barrel, so if you wanted to put a comp on it, you would be still far below the TTI one. It wouldn't look as cool, but it looks really cool anyways. Get with me because I'd make you a deal on it, and it comes with all the stuff, the holster, and it's mechanics come with all kind of stuff. It literally I've not shot it in, I don't know. I'm a 1911 guy now. I'm just kidding. I just haven't shot it. I have like 3 or 4 or 5-inch guns, and so I just don't shoot that thing very often. I'm selling that and probably my Smith & Wesson Performance Center 2.0. 5-inch, and that's comped also. I'm going to get rid of both of those. So yeah, because I just don't shoot them. Especially now that I have my Nighthawk. If I'm going to take a 5-inch gun, I'm going to take that. Or I have a CZ Shadow 2 also. So, I don't know. Those two are they just kind of sit there. Yep.
That's it. Nothing's happening.
I was going to order more ammo today, but I forgot.
It's still today.
Yeah, it is. I'm excited about this pickup.
JJE says, where can I purchase an air mattress?
Mm-hmm. Are you an air? I want to be buddies with you.
Jeffrey Egan said, I'll get with you about the Canon.
Yeah, I think you dig it. Flat face trigger. It's got the good trigger. So there, Canik has the normal trigger. So I have where's that thing? I have the little 9mm SC that my daughter bought me. Like it's the little one. And that has like the normal duty trigger in it, but the SFX Pro has the flat face, 2.5 pounds, like really stinking good. It's the Canik trigger you want because it's like the performance one, and it's really good. Yeah.
If Stathios says, I take half of my comment back, but I don't know what that means.
Well, I will. I'll look into it because if something's not showing up on the website for you, I hate that. Especially if you're wanting to share how your stuff is.
Free Rain Voltaic wants to know, where's your favorite vacation spot?
We default to the beach. Where is our favorite?
Yeah, like regular thing, it would definitely be the beach.
Yeah.
Because that will always be my number one pick.
Yeah.
I want to hear water moving naturally.
And when we go to the beach, we don't just, it's like balcony on the beach or nothing.
Yes.
Like if we're going to go to the beach, we actually go to the beach.
Unless we're passing through. If we're anywhere close to the beach, we're also going to stop at the beach. Yeah. But if I'm going to the beach, I'm going to the beach.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I also really like the mountains. So anytime we go to, I don't have the tires for it right now, but I'd love to go run the Dragon again. That'd be fun. Up in Kentucky, Tennessee. Blue Ridge Mountains I really like, but that's not a vacation. That's just like a road trip.
I mean, we've vacationed in the Smoky Mountains before.
Yeah.
When we stay on the river.
Yeah, that's true.
We've done that a couple times.
Oh, because that's where Smoky Mountain Knife Works is.
Yeah,
And I like
the
going
same
there.
road.
Yeah, it's like right. Yeah. Yeah. I like that place. That's probably one of my favorite places to go and just chill and have a couple days off. I actually really like Colorado too. That KOA that we stay at up by the casino, where we can pull the motorhome in, and you can you look over this whole mountain valley. Central City. Yeah. Central City, Colorado. I really like that place. If we're going to be in the mountains, that's pretty cool. But yeah, we default to the beach.
I mean, we're close to the beach too.
That's true.
So
that's true. Yep. We're not like, Vegas or anything like that, people. We want to go experience the outside.
Yeah, I'm not Vegas at all.
No.
I mean, we have to go to Vegas like once a year, but I'm just we have to go to Vegas.
Yep.
Let's see. Oh, Evstathio says, one of my reviews does show up. It's for the Super 8, but it doesn't show on the Super 8 page. It's on the Vault one because it was for the whiteout humbucker.
Oh, maybe that's why. Okay.
Yeah, it has to be a product you've purchased, right? Like it has strict...
verified purchased. Yep.
Jeffrey Egan said, have you tried the polymer coated bullets? Don't copper foul the barrel as much.
I have, and there's a guy here that, yes, I've gone through about 1,000 rounds of them, and I stopped using them because they goof with my comped guns, and my Nighthawk hates them.
I still think you should tell him because he specifically told us to tell him if we had trouble.
Especially in comped guns.
Yeah.
He did tell me that.
He did tell us that.
My Nighthawk hated them.
Because he was working on something new and he might.
Yeah, maybe
have
I'll
it
go
by
talk
now.
to him again.
Yeah.
I need to buy ammo, so maybe I'll go get a couple 100 rounds and try it again and talk to him and stuff.
I would just tell him because I remember him telling us, please tell me if you have trouble.
Yeah, maybe I'll ask him.
Because he thought one thing and was finding out from people. He was like, please tell me because I'm testing something else. Remember?
Yep.
Matthew Altamere says, I've been meaning to do the Tail of the Dragon one of these years in my Viper. Yeah, do it.
You do it. Yeah, do it.
Corey Cardenas, y'all ever play disc golf? Never played?
No. I did a couple times when I lived in Flagstaff.
It was a thing then?
Mm-hmm.
I thought it was a new thing.
Nah, it's been around a while. But it's not.
It's so common now.
It's not my thing.
Horses.
Yeah, it's not my thing.
I mean, I just thought it was something simple like that you could just do. But every sport like gets so serious and all the different weights and like it's like golf clubs now, right? Like,
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
I'm like, no, that's too much. And the big backpack. You know, you remember...
Yeah, we have a friend
Sierra.
we have a friend that actually competes professionally. That's what she does.
Yeah, but her backpacks and toting that stuff around, I'm like, it does not look fun.
She tours all over the
hot.
country doing it.
Yeah. So no, I've never played. I know a lot of people that love it, and we have quite a few courses here.
Yep.
So.
Yeah, I've never really got into it.
All caught up again.
Dang. Trying to think of any other off-topic stuff I'm doing. Oh, I know what I want to tell everybody too. This is sort of related, but it's not. We put these. Wasn't it Jeff Egan asking last week about the bottle opener? I put it on the website. It's on the website. They're like $10. So you can get these now. They're really nice. Brianna has one. She uses one at Brianna's a bartender. And she's got one in her back pocket all the time, and she says it's awesome. And it holds up good and does what it's supposed to do. So that's cool.
Corey Cardina says, what's her name? I know some of them. I'm not going to say more than Sierra. That's a very unique name. She runs like a women's league of something. So I think you either know her or not. I'm not going to give her full name out.
Yep. And you'd know her if you saw her because she's...
Yeah.
Yep. She's cool. I remember. Yeah. Anyway.
I mean, that's not how we met her, but.
Nope.
We have some history.
Yep. We've known her quite a while. Trying to think of any other off-topic stuff. I'm really excited about this drop concept of doing limited stuff, a couple of pieces of each thing a week to test stuff, to show stuff, and what is fun for me is because I get to be super creative. Like, the humbucker stuff we're doing.
Why are you talking about guitars?
Well, it's true. I'm talking mostly about the laser stuff because I just really have been enjoying playing with that thing, and it's given me all kinds of ideas. And even the hats and the other stuff. Oh, we bought a Cricut this week because it was the only thing we didn't have, kind of in this whole space. And I bought a good one, like a really good one. And Brianne is learning that, so she's kind of diving in on the Cricut side. But one of the things I was looking at today is it does cut foil. So I wonder if we can use Cricut
To do your
to
pickguard?
cut pickguard shielding. Yeah. I really want to sell pickguard shielding, but I'm trying to find a way to do it.
You already have the thing.
What thing?
You already have it. The dimensions.
Oh yeah, I have all that stuff. But yeah, so I was out there with the laser. I'm like, surely I can cut this with my laser. Would not do it. Would not do it. And it's funny because the laser thing's interesting. It's all about the reflectivity, right? So I thought, well, it's got paper backing on it. So if I just cut it backwards with the paper up, but the minute it gets through the paper to the copper, then it's too reflective and it doesn't work. So I suppose I could spray stuff on the other side, but that stuff's $26 a can. So there's like no cost-effective way to use that stuff on a big sheet like that.
Yeah.
So I don't know. And I bought a bunch of acrylic. The other thing I want to do is I want to make, still haven't decided what I'm going to call this room. It's going to be some sort of armory name.
I thought you already picked a name.
What did I say? I don't remember.
I don't know, but I thought you picked a name.
But I want to put a sign right there underneath the bull skull. So I bought some acrylic that I'm going to do like a multi-layered acrylic kind of sign.
Aren't you supposed to make somebody a sign?
Yes.
Okay.
Yep. Working on that.
Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm.
Dog Dr. Tim said, I want a Cricut for appliques on guitar bodies.
So we did that once.
What does
And
that mean? What does he mean?
we could actually do like a vinyl overlay on a guitar like that had. The problem is every body is a little different. Like, I know CNC machine, whatever. But we did this twice.
Can I make stickers?
Yeah.
On a Cricut?
Oh yeah. Absolutely. Absolutely.
sorry.
That's what it's for.
I thought it was for vinyl.
It's for moms to make stickers. That's basically what Cricuts are for.
I'm a mom.
Yep.
And I like stickers.
Yep. So, remember when we did that charity guitar with the Indian head on it?
Yep.
And I went to a sign shop and I had them cut it and had them apply it.
Yeah.
And the problem is that
You still had to paint it, right?
we still
You
had to paint.
cover it.
I had to
seal
paint the
it.
guitar, and then we had to see. It came out good, but man, was it a bunch of work. It was such a pain.
Dog Dr. Tim said the Springfield room. I know that's not going to be it.
No. I don't know. We'll see. I haven't decided. I might not call it anything. But I do like this room. I use it a
I
lot.
don't know why. It just can't be the lounge. That's what we've been calling it.
I know. We've been calling
in.
it the lounge since we moved in. But I'm working on some older stuff. Working on trying to get some older artifacty kind of stuff in here.
Yeah.
Older swords, older pistols, older knives, like, because I want to do like what I'm trying to do is a timeline museum sort of around the walls.
Around the outside?
Around the outside. Every time I say that in a video, some moron gets in the comments, that's not an Eminem song, that's comes from some other song. I'm like, whatever, dude.
Oh, like it. He
stole it from somebody, like he's just like I'm saying it now, like stealing it from him, referring to it.
Collaborating on a doc today during a meeting. Like we're in a shared doc. We're in a meeting. And across the screen types, "Let's get practical."
Wow.
And I didn't say anything. And he was like, "Oh my gosh, that's funny. Does that make you think of anything?" I was like, dude, my brain is all song lyrics. And so then I went straight from like Olivia Newton-John leotards. And I end up talking about Richard Simmons. Like, I just go, and I don't even know how we got there. I mean, I do, but I was like, okay, we probably should get back on task because I don't know why I'm talking about Richard Simmons now.
Like so off topic.
And then we ended up talking about BritBox because Olivia Newton-John was in some British show. And I don't know.
Wow.
Anyway, random. So everybody knows my brain is song lyrics. I think it's awesome.
I agree. I mean,
You roll your eyes most of the time.
Yeah, but I'm already thinking of this. Maybe it's because I don't get them out fast enough because I'm probably thinking of the same song lyrics you're thinking of.
Well, if you know I'm going to say it, you're already thinking of it.
That's true.
Is it raining?
It is raining again. And I just realized it's been 7 hours and 16 days since I had popcorn. So
now I have a whiny voice in my head.
So I'm going to make popcorn after this.
Oh, my
Because I haven't had popcorn in a while. We're going to watch the Olympics. Don't tell me about the 200-meter dash. I want to know if Noah Lyles wins that thing. But don't tell me right now because I know he already...
Guess what Dylan was watching last night, y'all?
What?
Artistic swimming.
I was not watching it. It was on. And I was
awesome.
like... Yeah, it's weird though.
I mean, it's like interpretive dance. It's going to be weird.
Yeah. So that's one of those, though, that you're like, certain people are into stuff and you're like, you have a lot of cats. Those girls have a lot of cats. Like, that is a weird vocation to undertake.
I doubt they have time for cats. They're in the pool all the time.
Yeah, I suppose. But
that is creepy. Speaking of cats, don't rub my foot.
Oh, sorry. I didn't mean to. I don't know. I just am not. I see some of those sports and I see some of the people
also,
that
we like cats, so why is that a negative connotation?
I mean it in the metaphorical, like you're going to be an old cat lady.
Way.
Yeah, like
nice.
my ex-wife. Yeah.
Wow. You just said that on a live stream. Wow.
Yeah. I mean, I
think it's time to go.
Oh my word. Is there any more questions?
Hockman Hawk says, I love the Chris Cornell version. I love the Chris Cornell version of almost anything.
Yep.
But yes, I know exactly what you're talking about. F. Stathio says, are you using the new crank operated apparatus for the popcorn?
Yes, it is phenomenal.
Speaking of which, Sarge wasn't here tonight.
No, he might be here. He might have his hands taped to the table so he doesn't use any super chats because
he could have said hi if he was here.
He said last week he was going to try to not have as many super chats.
Yeah, we went from not knowing what a whirly pop was to receiving a whirly pop to going all in on gourmet popcorn, and we eat a lot of popcorn now.
Yeah,
it is so good.
Yeah, she got the fancy salt, she got the fancy oil, she got the fancy stuff, and man, we got proper popcorn bowls, like the whole deal.
Yeah, super fun.
Yeah, it's awesome. Absolutely awesome.
I don't know why we needed all that, but it's fun.
I also, I didn't order it yet, but I'm going to order a couple of spice mixes. So there's that I want to try. Yeah, we're trying all kinds of crazy stuff around here. Oh, there's going to be 2 new t-shirts this weekend too.
Ooh, I don't think I knew that. Cool. Dog Dr. Tim said, very funny, random. Dylan, if you're watching the Olympics, try the rhythmic gymnastics. Crazy talent. Dog Dr. Tim said, I still like my first wife best. I'm assuming that means he's still married to her.
That's pretty funny. Yeah, we have 2 t-shirts coming out this week. Is it 2? It might just be 1.
It is really raining. Y'all, this is the same storm. Like,
yeah,
the hurricane came, crossed, came back, and it's still raining.
Let me see if I can show you guys before we go. Since we're in off-topic hour, let me see if I can show you. This shirt because it is pretty awesome.
Oh, I did know. I hadn't seen it though. You told me about it.
Yeah. Okay, I can show you. Hang on one second. I just have to drag this over here. There it is.
Oh, why'd you drop it like that?
Because
Oh, all scenes. That's why.
yeah. So hang on. Let me size this down. It drops it on the screen, so I didn't mean to actually drop it on the screen. Oh, come on.
Just scroll and they get the idea because it's a transparent background. It's not going to make sense anyway.
Here, hang on. Anyway, it says Dylan Pickups, and it is an alien. Oh, really?
You did it.
An alien and a Sasquatch holding hands, and it says "We are real." Established 2013 because we're doing that on all of our stuff now. So that T-shirt is coming out this weekend on this weekend's drop too. And the way these are going to work is this stuff's only going to be up for 2 weeks. We're going to put out new stuff next week. There's going to be 1 week of overlap, and then the first week stuff's going to come down. So it's going to be, or if it sells out first. So it's going to be there for a maximum of 2 weeks, and then we're going to take it down. So, because I just want to keep things fresh and keep trying new stuff and whatever. So, yeah.
And I imagine if it is popular, it might become regular.
Yeah. Depending
Maybe.
on how it does.
It's a good way to gauge interest.
Yeah, I think so.
Cool. All right. Can we call it 9:32?
Let's call it 9:32. Popcorn 30. We have a new video coming out tomorrow. It's already on Patreon. Also, super new format. Something that I'm trying a little different.
He's super excited.
I'm really excited about it. It's an idea. The idea behind it is this is a project. It's Cletus McFarlane style, basically, where I have this project that I can't do in one day. This is not just like swapping out pickups. This is going to take some work. So I want to share it with you. So we're going to kind of share it with you as we do it in real time, vlogging this process of developing a new pickup. That's something I've never shared before. And so part 1 is tomorrow.
And you get to skip all the years of thinking about it beforehand, though.
Yeah, because I've actually been thinking about this for 2 years.
Yeah, I know. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
They still get a condensed version, but a process.
Right. Yep.
Anyway.
So there you go. Thanks for hanging out. We will see you tomorrow.
How about a So Metal shirt with the alien rocking out on a guitar?
I have thought of that too.